Welcome to ETF Edge, your go-to place for everything exchange-traded funds. I'm your host, Bob Pisani. Green shoots for the IPO market? Maybe. The great IPO drought has gone on for 18 months, but some are hopeful that may be ending. Fast casual restaurant Cava is scheduled to go public at the New York Stock Exchange this Thursday, and this morning they raised the price of their proposed IPO. There's a long list of companies that have been waiting to go public for over a year. IPO watchers are hopeful that with the markets rising, the great IPO drought may be ending. Let's talk with Matt Kennedy, Sr. He's the IPO market strategist for Renaissance Capital, which runs the Renaissance Capital IPO ETF. We talk about it often here. Matt, you and I have been doing this for a few years. It's often said the most important precursor for a return of IPOs is a strong stock market. S&P, we're hoping for a 52-week high, closed today. Is this the moment we've been waiting for? Is this what it's going to take to get the IPO market back on track?
I think so. We do see a light at the end of the tunnel. All the pieces are finally in place for a pickup in the second half. The main driver of new issuance is returns, and the Renaissance IPO index is up more than 25% year to date. So investors are making money in IPOs. That return is more than double the S&P 500. Outperformance is the fuel that powers the IPO issuance engine. So if returns hold up, activity should gradually return, and I think it will be gradual.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about that in a minute. But the strong market is not the only thing helping here. Potential valuations of IPO candidates. So we saw that with Cava. They talked about 17 to 19 last week. This morning, it's 19 to 20. I mean, isn't that going to get the attention of other IPO candidates out there?
Absolutely. There's a huge pipeline of IPOs that are just kind of in wait-and-see mode. And they're anxiously watching the market, looking at dynamics like this, and I think that looks like a green light for them, for sure.
Yeah, so you mentioned the Renaissance Capital IPO. It was a disastrous 2022. Let's not bring it up. It beat the S&P, 25% so far this year it's up, and 12% for the S&P, so it's got a great start. Major holdings are all the old tech holdovers, Snowflake, Airbnb, Palantir, DoorDash are all the major holdings here, all benefiting from the tech revival. So it seems to me it's the soft landing scenario dominating the market in 2023, and that's sort of been the big help, in addition to the fact that tech's been strong, right?
That's right, and many of these names are benefiting from the AI revolution. They're in the AI space, like Palantir, and that's kind of the perfect storm happening. But we do see them being replaced by some strong companies coming up. Kenvue, recent IPO, is eligible for addition to our index. Cava as well.
So the IPO, Matt, we're up 25% this year, as you mentioned. What about next? What's going to happen next? I mean, I said I wasn't going to talk about last year, which is a disaster, but I want to just note the numbers were horrible. 7.7 billion was raised. For people who don't follow this, typically we'll see 50, 60, 70 billion raised. So we're at the halfway point this year. We've raised a little more than $7 billion, close to $8 billion. Is this going to change in the next few weeks? I'm trying to figure out whether these two facts, Cava raising the price and S&P at a new high, is going to open the floodgates.
I think that it will. The way these things always work is it has to be a string of successes. And I think it's going to be one or two deals this week, and then two or three deals, and then three or four. By the end of the year, we are hoping for a much more normal-looking market, and certainly heading into 2024 if these returns hold up.
Well, let's hope so. The list of companies waiting to go public is as long as my arm. It's Fogo de Chão. That's been out there for, a year and a half right now. That's another restaurant company. Reddit's been out there. Instacart's been out there forever. The British semiconductor giant ARM, that could be the biggest one in years. Heaven knows, that could be a $30, $40, $50 billion valuation. And then there's hopefuls. Look at this list here. Panera Bread, Stripe, Impossible Foods, Fanatics, Flipkart, StubHub. A long list here. I know you don't like doing this or me putting on the spot, but who might be next?
I think Fogo is a natural candidate. It's been on file, and if Cava does well on its first day, that will certainly give it the green light, and maybe some other restaurant IPOs too, like Panera. Beyond that, there are some smaller, less well-known names in industries that are doing well, like biotech, energy, insurance. As for those huge tech unicorns, I think we'll see a few companies in the second half, but really, I think more like 2024. Those still need time to grow into their valuations and kind of pivot to profitability.
2024. I'm just trying to, get through the first half of the year at this
You got to
point.
temper your expectations a bit.
But then again, I'm in the business of, making stories out of things. So I'm actually more optimistic than you might be, Matt, at this point. But thank you very much, Matt. Always appreciate your thoughts. Good to chat with you.